All right, hello there, people of the internet. My name is Ruto Jagero, and this is Political Headache. We are talking with Odhiambo Otieno about what has been happening, and this is ODM at 20. ODM at 20, we had President William Arap Samoei Ruto giving a speech, which Odhiambo describes as very relaxed, no panic, no nothing. So I thought, Odhiambo is a communication expert, and I was thinking, why don't we look at the psychology of a speech, break it down, right, and see what he was actually talking about and what it meant for him. Was he okay in his skin? Was he thinking about who is the person in the room that is of interest here? Who might run away with this ODM party, and if he ran away with it, am I able to wrestle it back? So, Mr. Odhiambo,
yeah.
What did you think about? Firstly, you were in Rwanda. Mm-hmm. How was Rwanda? How are you doing?
Amazing. Rwanda is amazing. The democracy there is amazing. Democracy. it's really amazing there. There was a time I was living in a place called Nyarutarama.
Nyarutarama.
And from Nyarutarama it's just next to Parliament. I was taking a taxi to the hotel where we were doing our stuff. And I talked to some of the taxi drivers. About president.
Yeah.
No. The president is a god. He's not human. We don't talk about the president. And 3 drivers told me they can't talk about the president.
Yeah. Because they didn't know who you are.
Oh.
Yeah, and they're wondering, why are you asking?
Really?
Yes, and who are you going to report to after asking? What is it for them?
They never allowed me to speak.
No, you cannot.
Completely.
No, you cannot. You cannot talk about the president of Rwanda in Rwanda. He's a Baal.
He's a Baal.
He's a Baal. Baal with a double A.
The guy has gone deity level.
Yes, he's a Baal.
And then, on 2 occasions, when I was just taking my evening walks, then the car stopped. And the police were all with firimbis all over.
Yes.
And like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And the cars were just being cleared off the road.
Yeah.
Then a minute, I can see a very heavy convoy.
Yeah.
Of G-Wagons.
Yeah, G-Wagons.
Yes. And some lead cars here and there.
Yeah.
And the speed is
it's massive.
Then I looked at one of the G-Wagons. I saw the daughter of Kagame.
Uh-huh.
She was driving herself.
Uh-huh.
Like, what is this? I thought it was the president. Then the second time, next to Parliament, the son was passing in a Range Rover. And the traffic had to stop. I'm like, these guys are living in a world that is different.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful for them. It works for them.
Yeah.
But I don't like it.
Yeah.
I left there with a sense of fear.
I'm
not sure if I go back.
They're eating.
They're eating, eh?
They're eating, yes.
They're eating.
It is their time to eat.
The economy.
They're eating the struggle of independence. The 1994 independence.
Though Kagame has done something good for Rwanda.
Kagame has done something for very, very good for Rwanda. Kagame is one person that thinks that we can actually have a Singapore in Africa.
And I think he's hacking it for Kigali. Kigali looks more than Europe for me in terms of beauty.
It looks very, very good. It will actually go head to head with any European city. It's better than America by far. The only problem is that we cannot have a country that only looks like Kigali and the rest of the country. Do you know the rest of the country what it's called?
No.
Yeah. So
I only know of Kigali. And the houses are very clean as well. Even the structural designing is standardized. There's something about Kigali that is different.
You see now in Kigali, you can actually tell somebody that I want this phone delivered. And this phone, and the person holding that phone will knock on the door of the person where this thing is delivered. Like it is.
The address is very clear.
Yes, like
very, very clear.
And he did it in 5 years. But try to drop a phone in Kibera.
What do you have against
Try to drop a phone in Kiambu.
Not even dropping. Try to walk around.
Try in Githurai 45. Now, those are the things that we should be talking about in this city.
Yeah.
Not teaching people arithmetics.
I agree. No. Come on. You didn't do very well. You know, this guy, he didn't do very well in math. So he hates Babu for... Yeah, he hates Babu for being a good mathematician.
But you know, Diambo, when you're coming from Kigali...
Yes.
And you are hoping that Nairobi can have a semblance of Kigali.
Yes.
then we should be having town halls. We should be having high-level conversations
you see
about a town,
and you see
about a city.
You are doing that. I don't know if you want to be governor because your rivalry with Babu is something else.
No. I have always told you that I have no problem with Babu. No,
you quack like a duck. You're a duck, bro.
I do not have a monumental problem with Babu.
What is your problem with Babu? Is it as an attitude problem? Is it a reputational issue?
I think that Babu is buying into this idea that we have a country of stupid people.
Not really.
I'm still talking.
Okay.
We have this country of people who are stupid. People do not care. People who have not seen the best. So even when you want to be a governor of Nairobi, don't talk to them about governance over city. Don't talk to them about infrastructure. Don't talk to them about what actually means to have a city that works. Do not talk to them about that. Just have chaos on your way to the top. And then give them a middle finger. And then get out.
Gen Zs are not agreeing with you. You know. I've told you before. You're not of Kenya. You belong to another world.
Me, I've traveled.
Yeah, you've traveled.
And I've seen the best.
Yeah, and so
what I've seen, I've been to Norway, where you see the real life and law and how it works and how you can actually live a good life for 60 years and then die and say, I was on earth.
The rest of us just leave.
Yeah, you can't live. You when you live in Congo,
yes,
in Kawangware, you see,
yes,
the madness.
Yeah.
And you figure and you realize that you actually live in a city that has got a budget of more than 50 billion. 50 billion.
It has a budget of more than 50 billion.
More.
That is the county government of Nairobi.
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
The collections plus the money given by the national government.
You know, on-source revenue is your entitlement. You get it back straight away. There's no negotiation about it.
Yes.
Then the national government then allocates you something else.
How much is allocated to Nairobi?
I don't think
it is the highest. Is it
the highest, but it's not 50.
But I'm talking about cumulatively.
It could be about
cumulatively.
For how many years? Because per financial year, they receive about 30-something or 20.
Yes, and the money they collect.
But housing is not their mandate per se, bro.
I'm not talking about housing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about everything.
Like
takataka.
But Babu is not yet the governor.
Why are you talking about Babu? We left that conversation a long time ago. We were talking about a city.
Okay, now.
Yes.
You're talking about...
we are not talking about Babu. We are talking about a city.
Garbage collection. How should it be done?
I think, first of all, they should take it from the housing level. Who is supposed to collect garbage from residences, and where should they take them? Because I feel like we have got so many companies that are harvesting garbage, but they don't know where they're taking them. That is why on this road, you wake up one morning and there is a pile of garbage. What does it mean? It was picked from a residence. They have nowhere to take it.
Makes sense.
And so they dump it. Right now, if you go where I'm living, there is a railway line the other side. And right now they're bringing down a lot of houses. Those small houses that used to be in Nairobi, they're bringing them down. And they're picking all that steel and the rubble and everything, and they're mwagaing them next to the railway line. A place that was really clean and very green. That means that they do not have a way of harvesting and disposing garbage. You remember Fanyamambo said here about people that came to a company, I think from Sweden, that came here and told them that we can actually fix Nairobi because we can take the garbage, recycle them, and make plastics and all those things.
That's actually what I need to tell you, that I think the biggest problem you have about waste is us not going renewable energy or not going recycling of waste. Because if you look at Kisumu, for example, in 2014, there's a company from Germany that came to establish, it's called...
Ranguma government.
Yes, Ranguma government. They went to establish an incinerator or something where they were going to produce electricity that was going to form a mini grid for Kisumu.
Yes.
Which then they would plug into the national grid. And so many more that they would replace across the country. Yeah. But the problem with Kenya is before you set up a company, somebody in the ministry tells you, gives me 100 million before you set up. If you don't give me that money, you're not setting up. Yeah. I've dealt with quite a number of corporates who have helped in communication, who have told me, Like one is a gold mining company. I think I told you about it.
Yeah.
The one that I went to Singida with. They told me they wanted to get some gold in Ramula. And the people there, politicians there,
They refused.
they are demanding for 100 million.
Yes.
Now, 100, where do you get 100 million?
And the other time you were telling me about the fact that Rwanda is actually having zero mileage BMWs.
Zero mileage VWs.
Yeah.
Actually, the whole time I was in Rwanda, I never used these cars I see in Kenya. I was using
These cockroaches.
these cockroaches around here. Yeah, I never used them. We were using V or cockroaches or Luenda. Let them not think we're derogatory towards the people.
Yes.
Luenda is a term we use in Luo
Yes.
to refer to small cars.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, brother, it's important.
Thank you for covering my ass.
People have lynched you, calling people cockroaches.
No, they're not. Yeah.
Now, I was using VW zero mileage. And even the electric cars are zero mileage. And they're buying them at favorable prices. 3.6 million, 4 million, which is the price that we pay here for Tumba cars. And I think it is something that can be done if the government accepts a change of attitude, and if the people also accept a change of attitude.
Yeah, and also what I want to tell you when I talk about Nairobi City and I talk about Babu, people think that this is actually a swipe at Babu. It is not really a swipe at Babu. What I'm trying to say is that my thinking is that Babu is following that pace of politicians who have never cared about the people.
Are you talking about politics of populism?
Yes, you see, and the politics of you guys don't know nothing.
Yeah.
You see,
okay.
So let's not disturb you with the proper dialogues.
Okay.
Let's not disturb you with proper dialogues.
Let's just go with
yes.
Just emotional.
Odhiambo, now you are getting what I am talking about.
Yeah, nothing serious.
Yes.
But are the people interested? Because we've been doing town halls with you.
You see, now we need to start that interest.
That's why we have started.
And there should be a bigger person in the room. And I have a problem with somebody who seems to be a bigger person in the room and is not acting as one.
And who is this?
We are not going to individuals now.
Asking you.
I'm just talking.
I mean, it's free speech. You're not in Rwanda.
No, I'm talking. I'm talking about generalities.
Okay, so
like for example, you know what needs to happen, and in your head you are thinking these motherfuckers don't know anything.
Yeah, let them go to hell.
Yes, we. So that's the problem. I don't like people. At 43 years old, going to 43, I don't want politicians bullshitting me anymore. Yeah.
I wanted to read for you something.
Before now let's go to the topic of Ruto.
Something before we start. This is
an introduction to political science for African students.
Yeah, this book I inherited from my father.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, it's a very old book. That's why it's
amazing. You can show it to the camera. I don't know whether the camera is seeing it.
It will say it.
Yeah, by Macmillan or by
no, by Nwabuzo.
Nwabuzo? That's Ugandan.
Nwabuzo is not Ugandan. Come on, Mera.
Nwabuzo
and Mwela. Those are not Ugandan.
It sounds like but you see, Nabuzo does not sound English.
It's not English. Mwela is English, but Nwabuzo is not English. Nwabuzo is Nigerian.
Oh, Nigerian.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you offended that I don't know the people that wrote the book?
No, I'm not offended.
Because Chuka looks like he's offended. Fuck it.
Wait. Hey. I need to give you something here. Let me see where I wrote it.
So now we are going to be talking about the speech of Ruto. People of the internet, we have taken about 10 minutes talking about Uganda, Rwanda, and Nairobi City. You can go ahead and read.
I'm trying to get it. I don't know where I marked it. Where was this? I'll get it. I'll get it within the nini. I think I'm marking that.
Imepotea.
Siku mark na kalamu, but I'm gonna get it.
Okay.
Now, one of the
what is the import of what you marked?
What I marked was how people engage in politics, and Nobuzo states clearly that Africa will remain where it is for a long time until when we move from the two publics post-independence or the two publics post-colonialism. The two publics here that was also defined by somebody, a writer called Professor Peter Eke, who's also a Nigerian, says that we have the primordial public and then we have the post-colonial public. Now, the post-colonial public is the one that is sensitized, is the one that is civilized, is the one that looks into civilization like yourself. People who want a Singapore in Kenya, people who want ideals. But the primordial public, the one that was there before colonization, which are still there or who are still there, are looking at politics in form of, this is our thief. So if somebody steals, then that is our person, because the African culture largely was about brevity by raiding other communities.
Okay.
That's why you see communities where cattle rustling was celebrated. If the guys get into government and be corrupt, they are still praised. And Nobuzo clearly notes that we must have a serious middle class for us to have sober politics. But before we have a serious middle class, we don't have proper politics, because politics is heavily driven by a stronger middle class.
That's interesting.
Because middle class have issues that they need solved every other time.
So Oduor Jagero is missing his peers.
Yes. Oduor Jagero is missing his peers. That's why I told you, you're from another world.
Yeah.
You're not from this world. Because here, the politics of Kenya is majorly by the holopoloi, the ones who are living the lowest of the lowest life. And at one moment, when I was interacting with one of the political leaders in Kenya, who was coming from our home area, he told me that you need to ensure that your voters' economic status does not change for at least 15 years, so that you become a career politician, which means they're not very keen at changing the economic status of the people. That said, before we move, you need them to understand that for Kenyan politics to change, including Nairobi, to the level that you want us to hold discussions in town halls, like the ones we started, we will need to have a critical mass of the middle class. And a critical mass here means we have shifted at least a third of the population to middle class level. Because before we are a third, we are not anything. That's why we always say in parliament, they need at least 2/3 majority. Because you have to have third and another third to convince, so that the other third can go to hell. But before we are there, we are in proper chaos. Let's talk about President Ruto's speech.
Yes.
Now, when I saw President Ruto in Mombasa, I'm going to analyze this purely from the communication perspective. And so those who want to look for political nuances in here, today it is a little bit different. We're going to go straight into the psychology of communication, because communication also has its own psychology, like money, etc. Why do people communicate? And how do people communicate? People communicate to influence. People communicate to pass a message. People also don't communicate for the same reasons.
Yeah.
Because by commission or omission, we influence or we pass a message. Up to 63% of your communication is nonverbal, which means it's how you say it, it's how you look, it's how you dress. Like, I don't know how I've dressed today, I don't know what I'm communicating, but I think I'm communicating.
Yes.
Yeah. It's how you walk. It's basically everything about your nonverbal cues, about how you look at people, about how you shake hands. So let's start from there, from the nonverbal cues that Ruto came in with. That's where I want to start at.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's start from what we saw when President Ruto was going into the hall. Number one, I saw President Ruto getting in a yellow outfit.
Yellow outfit. Yellow and orange. Yellow kaunda.
Yes.
And then orange heart.
Yes. So let's start from there.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to understand color communication. Because people don't just put on particular colors. Those colors have meanings. And I'm happy that the audience will be Googling and confirming what I'm saying.
Okay.
That when the color yellow is a color of happiness. It's the color of a child. It's the color of food. It's the color of joy. It's a color that radiates some level of child happiness, but it's not very firm. It's not a firm
So
color.
I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Up to that point. When I wear yellow,
Yes.
it is warm to the people looking at me. Is it happiness to the people looking at me, or I am feeling happy?
You are feeling happy, and so you are radiating that happiness to people around you.
Okay.
Okay?
And so if I'm happy in yellow,
Yes.
then the people looking at me
Yes.
are also happy.
No, they may not be happy, but you're radiating happiness to them. And so you may miscommunicate. That's why when people wear particular colors and they come to where you're like, what the hell? What color is that? Because there's a way, the mood is not matching. Okay? So for example, Ruto put on a yellow outfit, which in terms of reading the room, he was off. Because you don't put on a yellow outfit going to people who are still mourning. Remember, mourning takes at least 30 days. In our culture, it takes 40 days. We are about day 34. So we still have 6 days to go. And Ruto came there in yellow, which was communicating joy, which was communicating laughter. Then he put on orange. The way he dressed alone If you look at it, and I'm happy the editor will be showing this.
I had engagements with Baba, and I say that we've been on the same side of the political divide.
It is disturbing to the eye because the color orange is the color of the future, is the color of tomorrow, is the color of promise. Okay? So when you look at orange and yellow, it does not marry. Ruto should have gone in there neutral for the following reason. That yellow is the color of his party. And he was going to a founders' dinner of ODM. He was not in agreement with whatever he was going to do. That is how your non-verbal cues sell you out. He was not in agreement. In fact, he came there rebellious in his yellow attire, showing ODM that I was one of you, but I beat you.
But he explained it.
He explained
He said that he was in.
He was in yellow because
Yeah.
he didn't want his people to imagine that he had gone to ODM. All of us know that Ruto going to ODM would be a statement that would not be made at a founders party. It will be made at a different kind of rally. It will be some form of speech. It will be something very heavy. So I found that was a little bit dishonest in terms of communication. It didn't augur well for me, for him showing up in that yellow color. He should have gone neutral. A neutral here is black, is white, is brown, okay? Something neutral that does not take to any of the sides. Because if he could have gone in white, who would have cared?
According to people in fashion, did he color clash?
Badly. Orange and yellow never match. It can never match. Those two can never match because they're on the two ends of the spectrum. They look related, but they're disturbing just to look at. It's very disturbing. Now, look at what he was putting on, because that's the next thing. Remember, it's a dinner. In a dinner, you show up almost like I'm dressed. That's why I came in it. So that I explain. And full with a bow tie. And full with a brooch. I've come with a small brooch.
What is a brooch?
A brooch is this.
A button on the coat.
It's not a button per se. It is an sort of an ornament. It's sort of a clothing. It's part of the clothing that you put on. It sends messages. People know it.
Oh, it's a message sender.
Yes. It depends with which brooch you're putting on. Like this is a button brooch. It's a very simple brooch, which means I'm not attending any event. There's a big flower brooch. Like this coat has this big flower brooch, which is black. Now, black and white is a color of simplicity. You can walk in anywhere. It matches any event. Yeah. So I expect Ruto to come into something like this with a what? It's called a white what? There's a white. I'm forgetting the name. It's a white tie event. Okay, the dinner was a white tie event. He could have even decided to go with a black tie event. A black tie event is not very formal, but there are people who are formal in it. The president is a formal person. He should have come in at least a black tie event, in a black tie attire. Black tie attire will be what I'm putting on this.
But I can't just immediately think about the other people that were around him that were at the dinner. They had dinner clothes.
Now look at when the state is hosting a dinner. You will know that it's different. Because in a state dinner, it's always either a white tie or black tie. All this, of course, came from United Kingdom. It's a culture thing. When you see when the Queen, or the King, Charles Day, hosts the presidents for dinner, it's always a white tie event. Extremely formal with a bow tie that is white. Okay? Now, in this case, all of them, of course, didn't understand what a dinner is. There's a fashion mishap. It's a tragedy. People coming in dinner with t-shirts. T-shirt. You cannot even step on a golf course with t-shirt. There was t-shirt that is looking unkempt. Some of them even came with round collar t-shirts. The one that we are putting inside. Round collar t-shirt should never be shown anywhere. Inside, in mavazi and ni kama panty.
Really?
Yes. If you're walking out, have a collared t-shirt. Collared. Now, they did a mistake. That collared t-shirt, they came in, they were not even tucked.
You saw too much at that dinner.
Yeah. It was just too bad. That dinner was just too bad. Now, let's focus on President Ruto.
Okay.
The way he was getting in and the way he started. Now, let's go
Just a minute. All right, people of the internet, I hope that you're enjoying this episode very much. And I just had a break to tell you about my new book. You know, everybody says that there is no job, and that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their town, in their city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call brothers, but there are no jobs. Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world, and there is no one to do them except you. I work for Americans myself. I work for Europeans. I work for the Chinese. I work for the Australians. I work for the Canadians. And so, because I have done so much for myself, I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I've been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a digital book called Goldmine 18 Hustles for Africans. And then in 2025, AI came. People say AI is taking away our jobs. And for me, I'm going to say false. There are actually AI jobs. Jobs are not being taken by AI, but there are new jobs online that are there because of AI. Now, mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. And for now, in my new book, we have 25 online and offline jobs that you can leverage on if you do not have a job. So in this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned over the 15 years that I have worked online. So what can you do online? You can become an executive assistant for busy folks in Europe, America, Canada, and get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. Okay? You can build a lot of things. Build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce shop without capital, be an affiliate marketer, or you can also become actually an English tutor and tens of AI jobs. If you have a job, that is fine. But I also know that you can buy this book for that brother, for that sister, for that mother, for that cousin, for that husband who is watching Netflix all day at home. Buy it for your friend who is always asking for cash. You know that friend. Now, all the information is on the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or go to my website, which is oduorjigero.co.ke. And now, back to programming. Let's go.
Good. So there was that mistake. Now let's go to the speech or just the precursor to the speech. The precursor.
The precursor to the speech. Yeah.
So the president comes in and the way he walks to the stage. And I want this editors to show that the way he walks to the stage.
Okay.
If you have your heart, you can wave it up in the air. This is an ODM Founders Dinner. It is a celebration. Niombe makofi tafadhali. Tunapokaribisha wageni wetu wakiongozwa na mmoja wetu aliyekuwa mwanzilishi ambaye vile vile siku ya leo ndio.
There's something about the president walking to the stage.
Oh, is that so?
Yes. He maintains eye contact with nobody. Does not even wave to the crowd. He walks straight to the stage.
He does not look around and say.
Look around. Now, in dinners,
okay,
when you walk in and you're the chief guest, you say hi. Because there's somebody that you know. And there's always a destined table for the chief guest. When you wake up, you should say hi to at least 2 or 3 as you walk your way up. Especially if you are not at the high table. Okay?
Mind your mic.
Okay. Thank you. If you're not at the high table,
yeah,
you must say hi as you go up. There was no saying hi. He walked straight.
What is the importance of saying hi?
It shows It shows relaxation. It shows you're connected to these people. There was a complete disconnect at this dinner. From his dressing to his walking to the stage.
You he would say that these are not members of UDA and therefore he doesn't know many of them. He's a stranger in town.
No, he's a founder member of what? Of ODM. This is a founders party. Founders party, which means hawa ni vijana wako.
Kosgei anamjua.
Kosgei anamjua, anajua hawa majamaa, anajua watu. He's not saying hi to nobody. He's just walking. Ta, 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 ta. Now, he goes to the stage. What are his first statements? Do you remember? Or I tell you? Because I've crammed the whole thing.
Tell me.
So, DJ, leta machanganyiko.
Why was he telling the DJs apana mweka machanganyiko?
Because it was creating humor out of Raila's signature opening as he was speaking. Raila's signature was higher, okay? But now since he can't do higher, he was going with DJ apana leta machanganyiko, which was choreographed. Because immediately said that, the DJ cued in that very thing. It was the most awkward shit I've ever seen at a dinner. Awkward.
Why are you saying it was awkward?
It was awkward because there are better ways of doing humor. At dinners of such status, you invite a comedian who doubles you. Look at White House dinners. Because if you want to do something good, compare yourself against the best practice. So we are comparing ourselves against the White House. Look at White House dinners. If the president wants to make jokes, some type of jokes, because dinners are happy, in any case, you bring a comedian who either is the host. Remember the ODM at 20, whatever dinner, the host was Sijib Domubagi or who, whatever he is. There was no icebreaker. There was nothing. It was the driest meeting that I've ever seen. So he should not have done the comedy. He should have allowed somebody else to do the comedy so that he comes out as serious. He came out as very unserious from his opening statement. And that laid the ground for the rest of his speech, which we are looking at now.
Yeah.
Well, the humor is good that it tunes people out of their high horses. Because, of course, I've said there was no comedian, so there was tension in the room. You could sense the tension. You could smell it.
Why was the tension?
You could actually cut the tension.
Why was there tension in the room?
Because
why should there have
the
been?
party echelon is speaking in different tongues. People are speaking in different tongues. There's a Tower of Babel. And right here,
It's a Tower of Babel.
the Tower of Babel. Right here is the gentleman who you want to address you, who is the head of state, but again, who most of you don't agree with. So it's a very uncomfortable setting. In fact, compare it to your home. When you are, brothers, these things that look like mini Forbes conferences at the end of the year, like now, people will be calling each other, the colleague or the sibling that is more successful will always invite the rest for a home party, just to compare who is doing better than the other. There's nothing genuine in them anyway. Okay? So it is like that. So take it as a home meeting where siblings have met after 18 years or 15 years. They want to compare who is doing well, who is doing well. And remember who sponsored the dinner? Say by name. Who sponsored the dinner?
Mundalo said that Ruto did not sponsor the dinner.
He even said it.
But what does that mean? When you sponsor dinner, what does that mean?
When you sponsor dinner, what does it mean?
That he give money towards the drive venue and the
plus the food.
So he bankrolled the entire dinner.
He bankrolled the entire dinner.
Wow.
What does that mean to you?
Which is not bad.
It's not bad. But I'm telling you, when you go home for these home conferences, they're mini Forbes meeting where people want to compare who's doing better than the other, who's driving a bigger car than the other.
Yes.
It is always tensed. The ones who are not doing very well are always tensed. Because they're like, hey, sasa Jagiro, tulikuwa tunaye hapa juzi, kwa tunakata naye mboga hapa.
Amenishinda.
Sasa yeye sasa anakimbia na ile gari, iko na ile kitu mbele inakaa Bentley.
It's called European ego.
Jagiro sasa yeye na ukiingia kwa nyumba yake TV inatoka wall mpaka wall.
Na mimi nataka hapa.
No. So it was exactly the same thing.
Okay.
At the ODM dinner. Where this tension was coming from, this was one of us. In fact, he used to be a junior here.
Yeah.
But
people like Kosgei looking at him like that?
No, Kosgei, of course, has no issue. They may in any case, they're colleagues from the same
Same village, yeah.
Yeah, from the same village. People like Anyang Nyong'o, people like Orengo, those people who are the older people, they look at Ruto as a boy. Because they are very loyal to the idea of who Ruto was in 2006 and 1992. They are still loyal to that idea. They don't know that Ruto is now the president. And so, him even starting to address them was like, they didn't, zero respect, basically. Okay? So there's that tension. And Ruto had to introduce that humor, which was very dry and very bad.
DJ, hapana lete mchanganyiko.
DJ, hapana lete
There's nothing original about it, okay? Now, of course, he introduced the playfulness with the DJ, where he was saying, DJ, hapana lete mchanganyiko, and etc. Which is good, it's showing relatability. But they gave the president a lot of work, okay? That said, Ruto proceeded to a very casual Swahili banter with the whole team. And basically trying to talk about this ngoma that Raila loved, and then starting to speak. Before he started to speak, I think it was about 5 minutes before he started to speak officially. All that is an icebreaker. Now, to the communication team of the president, Kiboko. Kubwa sana. The president is going for a dinner. That is something that is no chance for mistakes. You are overloading the president. There's a possible embarrassment. What if he said something silly there? And you know, now people are live. It will be a big embarrassment. Now, that said, Ruto created something very interesting. And that I like about him. Ruto is smart than many politicians. He realized there's tension in the room. I am unwelcome. I've also come in my funny yellow attire. That Kaundas should be disbanded, by the way. It is overworn.
The yellow one or the design?
The yellow one.
It's done by Bole Bespoke.
No. I don't speak about such people. I think it was done by somebody
And then
serious.
be like our friend.
No, it was done by somebody more serious in life.
Okay, so.
Then, of course, he created warmth in his conversation, in his starting, basically understanding the room. So, in terms of reading the room, tick. Out of 10, I give him a 9. He read the room and went with it. That was a beautiful thing that he did. Now, let's look at the effect of him taking this room the way he did. What he did was basically lowering the audience's guard. Because the audience has a guard. Before you start to speak to anybody, they have a guard. They're very high here. So you must relate with them and come to their level. So the president had to then he related to these guys. Now, he started establishing his legitimacy by creating a narrative to establish some level of authority. And you remember, when he started to speak, he said, his story cannot be written without mentioning ODM. Anybody who would want to talk about him must always remember that he's always a member of
ODM.
That is establishing legitimacy with the people and with ODM itself. Which is good. Up to this level, Ruto is doing very
good.
Very good. Now, let's continue. Now, he introduces, of course, his identity. He won't say, oh, Mimi ni nani. He tells us his story from the time that he's actually a founder member. That is very true because he sat at the Pentagon, which is a lovely thing that he said, and he went on to give us the reality of what that meant. Then, he went on to build a mentee-mentor relationship between him and Raila. You know, many people can look at the relationship between Ruto and Raila very weirdly. That it was a case of a betrayal between Raila betraying the people for Ruto. But I can tell you as a teacher, because I am a teacher and I've been a teacher, when your student is doing well, or when he's doing bad, you actually move in to help. I remember I have students in this city who are anchors on some TV stations, and some of them are broadcasters on some radio stations. They call me so many times when they're in huge broadcast issues. And I swing in, including one where there was one who was almost losing a job. I knew she misbehaved, but this is my student. I want the best for her. So I moved in and rescued the ship. And that was the same relationship that Ruto had with who? With Raila. That yes, apart from this guy being my rival, he's not just a rival. He's a rival from my camp. He's not a rival from Libamba. He's a rival from within the house. So he moved in to help. And Ruto establishes that very clearly by saying, how, first of all, he went to the Raila School of Politics. Because Raila was a professor of politics in his own way. By them starting the anti-whatever campaign, the constitution, which then gave birth to the Orange Democratic Movement, which was born, by the way, at Imperial Hotel in Kisumu. Okay? That's a part of history that is very serious. That Imperial Hotel in Kisumu, that is where ODM was born. Then, of course, Kalonzo was there and the rest, who later on, walihama na chama.
You can close the door and tell those people not to drag those things.
Yeah, walihama na chama. So Raila, of course, is his mentor, he says. Raila was somebody who influenced him in leaps and bounds. Raila influenced him in, number one, that Raila showed him opposition politics. Remember, Ruto was a government apologist from 1992. But then he fell out with Moi when he beat Chesire, who was then Eldoret North MP. So he fell out further in 2002 when now they were in opposition. And he didn't know what opposition politics looked like. And remember, Nani was the candidate there, Uhuru. I think, was Ruto his running mate? I think he was his running mate in 2002. And so this guy had been out but did not know how to manage opposition politics. Raila was the perfect teacher on how to do opposition politics because now they were looking at the future. But Raila also knew that Ruto was having an ambition. I remember in 2006 when Ruto declared that he would vie for presidency. It is not something he did the other day. 2006, his first time, they said he wanted to be president. The society was running, he was running. By that time, Nani alikuwa nasumbwana Uhuru, and he was being punished by Kibaki. There was a coup that was being done in Kanu, so that Uhuru tossed the line into government, which he did anyway, finally. Kibaki was very brilliant in that sense. So there's that relationship between him and Raila, which he also underscored very nicely. That was well done. Up to that moment, he's still doing what? He's still doing very well. So he says, if I'm a mentee of Raila Odinga, then I'm one of you. As much as my body language is not, but I'm one of you. Okay? So the strength of the word does not hold any water. What holds water is the action. And the action would be if he were like them. If he were like them, he would have been far away. Now let's look at the psychological purpose of this mentee-mentor relationship. Basically, it is doing something called identity borrowing. You can borrow identity. That's why when people start to speak, they always want to associate with particular people. So they will quote them. For example, they say, as Mahatma Gandhi once said, he quotes and then and says, I too believe that this is the reality of our life today. It's called borrowed identity. When Obama was contesting, when he was giving his NDC speech in 2004, that is way before we ever knew he was going to contest for presidency. He was striking some level of balance and striking some level of identity in America and saying, there are no blue states, there are no red states, we only have the United States of America. That is identity.
We have no black, we have no white, yes, we only have the United States of America.
That's the art of repetition in speech. So first of all, let's talk about the identity borrowing. Obama establishes his very strong identity and says, me being here tonight is very unlikely. That coming from where I come from, Kenya, being a son of an immigrant, so first of all, he establishes that he's a son of a what?
An immigrant.
And the immigrants are too many. And immigrants are a political question in America. And remember, New York today is 38% inhabited by immigrants. So by then, him doing that, he was establishing a connection with the immigrant community, but also establishing a very strong relationship with the whites by saying his mother came from Hawaii.
Yes.
The mother was a student. So the whites are with him, the blacks are with him. He's not just a black. He's a black with a white mother. Okay? So look at that in the form of Ruto. Ruto is also saying, yes, I am UDA, I am the president, but I'm also ODM. In fact, in any case, I am not myself without Raila.
The other person that really has influenced my political journey is Baba, the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. He encouraged me. He came to Eldoret when there was a ceremony for me to be made a Kalenjin elder, imagine. He was there. Of Raila Odinga, I am one of them.
He borrows identity very strongly. And so he taps into Raila's symbolic power. Raila had what people call Mbi.
B.
Mbi in Kijaluo. Mbi is the symbolic power that he was, the aura that is what he was walking around with. You know what aura is?
Yes.
What you come with when you walk.
There's a bubble around you.
There's a bubble around you, even if it's just alone. There's a bubble that is moving with you. There's this energy, beautiful energy. So he was trying to borrow into that and strike an identity with Raila's authority. Okay? Then, of course, he aligns himself with Raila's legacy emotionally by saying what Raila has done and how Raila mentored them. So at this moment, is taking a decoy. You can't see him.
Yeah.
He's here, he's not. You can't see him, but he's right there with you.
Yes.
Okay? But he's not presenting to you what he truly is. He's just doing politics of identity. It's a very strong thing. Now let's look at strategy 4, which he used, which I also think was very strong. Shared empathy and shared loss. Ruto is not an empathetic man, I can tell you.
Empathetic?
He's not.
I think he is.
No, he's not. Far from it.
There's a level of empathy in each and every person.
No.
There's a level of empathy.
There's none. That's why we have some people who are sick. I'm not saying the president is sick.
You are talking as if you are Ruto.
Of course, and I'm sorry if I'm digging too deep, and I could be wrong, but what I see is, from what I've seen before, especially with the question of the boy being shot somewhere in Rongai.
I think that might have been a misspeak.
No.
It was a defense speech.
Bro, you're a consumer of raw intelligence. You cannot misspeak. I'm sorry. You saw Museveni spoke.
About what?
About Bob Njagi and the other gentleman, Silas, or who was he?
What did he say?
He said, there are some 2 Kenyans who came, they were in the group of Chagulanyi. We picked them up and we put them in the fridge because they are experts in riot. Then one of those presidents in Kenya called me and told me to leave them. Shows you the lack of empathy. Zero empathy. Absolutely zero empathy. Now, compare Mandela.
He was probably just talking tough.
No.
He's talking tough.
Stop making, when you love people, you make excuses for them. And that's the tragedy of love.
You think I love Ruto?
I'm just saying. So if you're implying, then so be it.
Omera. He's a fellow Nylon.
You see? He's a fellow Nylon. For me, I'm just doing for purposes of analysis. Bro, I think I like him more. I don't love him, I like him.
You like him?
Yeah. So if you look at Mandela, then juxtapose Mandela and Ruto. I know it's an uncomparable, but for purposes of analyzing empathy, put them together. Okay? Who is more empathetic?
I don't know much about Mandela. Who is he, by the way?
Mandela was the former president of South Africa.
Yeah, but why are you talking about his empathy?
I'm talking about his empathy because when he left prison, he could have decided and said, you know what? Let's take over the country.
He was tired.
Push out these whites.
He was tired.
And he said, no,
I believe Mandela was bought.
We're not pushing.
I mean, several years before Mandela was released, he was having white tea and samosas and sausages and buttered bread.
There's a book to that effect.
There's no book. It is there.
It's just a rumor.
It's a rumor.
Yeah, rumors. Even here they say
that they treated him very well. Some 2-3 years. He was living large.
Even in Kapenguria, they say that when
I have a problem with the people that are celebrated in the West as having saved Africa, where you are so good that the New Yorkers create for you a bash.
It's not a very genuine thing.
It's not a very good thing.
Okay, I hear you. Today I've learned that. so when they celebrate me, I should be wary.
Very.
They're fattening a calf.
Very. Because the sheer horror that the white South Africans did to the South African people and the horrific treatment that they were treated with. And then they come and tell Mandela that, look, we are humans. Let us forgive each other. In as far as forgiveness is concerned, it's fine. We can forgive you. But give us back our fucking land. I mean, the entire economy of South Africa right now as we speak is in the hands of the whites. They are running manufacture. They are running banking. They are running transport. Everything is in the hands of the whites. And this is something that Mandela should have stood very firmly and said, look, you took our land. Most of our fertile lands, you have got cows. own them, and you're very few. Give us back our land, let's forgive each other. Mandela decided that, okay, whatever you have stolen and pocketed, go ahead and pocket it.
I don't
The
think-
same
I don't
thing,
think he decided.
the same thing that is happening in Laikipia right now. Do you know that right now in Laikipia, there is land that is not in the land books at the land house?
How?
You cannot buy that land. There is no land number.
It's a conservancy or what?
Yes. And you can't touch it. And they actually go to Britain and exchange hands and pay each other billions, and that land moves from one person to the other. And that's what exactly Mandela did.
I've seen many whites moving to Nanyuki. and
So
Laikipia.
you cannot be empathetic towards white people that grabbed shit from you, right?
Now, let
And
me-
leaving your own people without anything and calling yourself an
when
empathetic
you want,
human being.
when you want to revenge, then you must always dig two graves. I want you to know that.
It is not revenge.
That's revenge.
It's not revenge.
That is
no.
that is in fact being.
O-
Just a minute.
Odhiambo.
Let me explain to you. Just give me a minute. When you want to be vindictive, then you must prepare two graves.
Odhiambo.
At that moment, just a minute, Jackie.
Okay.
At that moment, whatever was important for South Africa, in my view, and for Mandela, was reconciliation of South Africa. Now, first of all, let's have a talking opportunity.
It was not reconciled.
Just a minute.
It was not reconciled.
Of course, it's not
when,
yet
when I
reconciled.
shake hands with you,
Of course, it's not yet reconciled, but the priority was to see a black man leading South Africa. Number one, okay? Number two, we were going to go. South Africa needed independence. Political independence, number one. Then we move to the rest of the things, which I agree with. There are reconciliation which need to have happened, which have not happened to date. And I am one of those people who believe that there should be expropriation of lands without compensation in South Africa.
yes.
That I believe.
In
Because
fact,
there's no way you can remove me from my ancestral land and then you want me to pay you so that you leave my land. Expropriation without compensation is key.
This is one of the irreducible minimums that Mandela should have had for his people.
I don't think so. That it was not going to be empathetic to his people. Those guys took over. Those guys took over South Africa. They were having the means of coercion. They were having everything. The best thing is that, Nani, wisdom at times is good. First, get your foot in. Okay? Let's have the first step done. Be strategic. Then, let's go to the next step. Maybe Mandela's thing was just to say, hey, guys, we can actually talk. In this talking, let's talk with honesty. But you see the challenge with these whites in South Africa, they're refusing to talk with honesty by saying, hey, guys, the gap between the poor and the rich is too wide. You took our land. We need to get it back. They're refusing. And that is why South Africa is still experiencing xenophobia. That South Africans, the black South Africans, are too congested that they're imagining even fellow blacks coming in is bad for them. This is a trauma response. And up to that level, okay, there's need for further conversation. Mandela could not do everything.
We may go back to Ruto's speech.
Excuse Mandela.
I,
The empathy that I was looking at was at the extent of, hey, I know how you're feeling, I appreciate how you're feeling. Let us start talking. In this case, I was asking you, in the Ruto case, you're saying you think he's empathetic, and I'm telling you, he is not empathetic. He's very strategic. And that's why he employed strategic empathy
okay.
as a ploy, okay? By saying, now let me, it's very unfortunate that Baba is not here today to witness ODM at 20. What is that saying? What should he have said, rather? I would have wished that Raila was here today to celebrate with us in this moment. His words, exactly like quote, were, it is really unfortunate that Baba is not there to witness ODM at 20. Now, if you look at breaking down this sentence, whenever you start feeling you are speaking with words such as actually, really, you're saying nothing.
It was really unfortunate.
Really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. It can't be really unfortunate.
Semantics?
It is, of course.
Lack of command of the language?
Not lack of command of the language, brother. This is
a man that should be talking in Kipsigis. He's talking English, bro.
He's a PhD holder, bro.
PhD is not grammar.
Of course, not grammar.
Yeah.
But there's a way, I'm just saying, there's a way that empathy speaks out.
Okay.
For example, saying, my brothers and sisters,
Yeah.
I am truly sad
Okay.
that on this very special day, my mentor, Raila, is not here with us to witness and share with us more wisdom.
Yeah. Perhaps that is why he should have read a speech.
That is why they need to read speeches. Very true. That is why at the presidential level, you must be confined to reading speeches. And your ad-lib must be very short. Because Odhiambo will analyze every word, every comma, and full stop. And I will tell you, this was an empty statement.
Okay.
Lacking empathy. But what was the psychological purpose?
Yeah.
He was trying to trigger nostalgia.
Okay.
He was trying to deepen the grief.
Okay.
He was trying to unite them through loss. You know, Kenyans are very united when we are attacked. When there's a loss somewhere, we are very united. Yeah, we are always together. And emotional vulnerability. Though I don't think he was very vulnerable, because there's nothing about this statement that tells us he's vulnerable. But if you would have said, for example, my brothers and sisters, where Raila has left me is a bad position, and to take the courage of all of you who are here to believe in what Raila believed in and what he saw as our leader, to trust in taking me to 2027. Beyond that, we can discuss something else. There was vulnerability. But he didn't say it. He didn't say it. Now, tribute a social engineering. Point number 5. So he, of course, give Raila the tribute that Raila deserves. He's a Democrat. He's a nation builder. He's a non-tribalist. Okay, which are very carefully chosen words. Very good. That one is scored for me. Of course, the psychological purpose is not just praising Raila. It was framing ODM's value system, which is good. It's a very good recognition. That one I give him again 9 out of 10. That one is scored. Apo jini mempea 4. Apo mempea 9. Okay? He quoted, specifically said, the values of ODM are the same value that Ruto claims. It's not true, brother. It's not true. The same value that Ruto claims is not the same value that ODM claims. ODM looks at the poor people for what it is. Ruto looks at the poor people as a means to his end.
I completely disagree with you.
Okay, let me hear your point.
I don't think ODM looks at people like that. In any case, when you say ODM, what is ODM?
Or in democratic movement.
Yeah, but what is it? There have to be people associated with it that espouse those things that you talk about.
Of course, it's a party. In any case, Jagero, I've told you this before.
ODM is the only party that looks at the electorate as a trade. In fact, if you go to Luo land, people in Luo land always say in Luo that one dano.
No, that is political banter.
It is not banter.
It's political banter. Because if you're talking about human trafficking,
no. Just look at what you are doing.
No, but that's what you're saying.
No. Come on. You should have. Come on. Odhiambo, don't be a spin doctor, bro. How can you translate that into human trafficking? Surely.
No, Jagero has said that ODM in Luo Nyanza was being said ni ilogo hand dano.
Yes.
Or hand dano.
Yes.
Business of people. Basically means human trafficking.
No.
You not win.
It can't be human. Unless you want to spin it off.
Of course I spin it. But I get your point, bro.
Yeah. So I do not think that ODM is there is this idea that you guys have in your heads about ODM that is so far-fetched. That ODM was created for revolution. And
what was it created for?
I think it was just another party. Even if you look at even it was a vehicle to take power.
Exactly.
It was just a vehicle to take power. When Maanzo and Raila and all these guys do ODM Kenya.
And this is where ODM missed the juggernaut. Because they should have explained to people like you what they have been able to do that has improved the lives of the common poor people. You could have understood.
Okay.
So they missed the point. Because I'm telling you, ODM is a party of the poor people. Because Raila for very many times has been branded the Lord of the Poor.
No.
He has.
But not in that sense.
Okay, in what sense?
Not in that sense.
In what sense? Interpretation is a whole unit in law school. So tell me.
My thinking about the Lord of Poverty is simple, is very literal. There is nothing psychological, there is nothing euphemical about it.
There's a lot.
The fact is that when Kikuyus have, and these are the Kikuyus that have always said this, that Raila is leading a pack of poor people. They are looking at Kibera, where he was an MP for such a long time. And those are poor people living in the trenches, people living in the gutter. Luo Nyanza has never been looked at as a place of wealth. Okay? It is poor, and some of that statement is true. Remember, when Raila said that people should not go to the streets, most of the Kikuyu people were saying that, look, you guys don't do business, you don't care about money. For us, we want to go and work and earn money. Nyinyi bakini hapo kwa ufukara yenu. The idea of Raila leading the Luo, the people, the poor people, is just literal. They are poor.
Okay, that's your interpretation, which is fine. You're entitled to it.
Okay.
But in my view, Raila leading the poor people is also very psychological, because he could have led the rich people.
And
he was a very rich man.
And I did not finish. Okay. Can I finish this statement?
Finish.
I do not believe that Raila was trying to get them out of poverty. Raila loved the fact that they were poor and they should have remained there, so that is their ball.
Those are your statements. And that is not the opinion of Political Headache, by the way.
As a member of Political Headache, can I have my own opinion?
Yeah, you can have your own opinion.
Very good.
Yeah, as a collegiate, that is not our opinion as Political Headache. Here we yes. Please ensure you write that. Disclaimer. These are Jagiro's individual opinion.
Yes.
Yeah, this thing is a corporate.
Okay.
You must ensure these people know this thing's a corporate.
Yes.
You're not the only one here.
Okay. But you also have opinion about Ruto saying that he's not empathetic.
Yes, my opinion is not Political Headache.
Yeah, so mbona inakukula sana mimi nikiongea kuhusu.
Sababu unajua when you talk about Raila in the sense you're talking about him, I'm a little bit, well, I feel for you, because one time they attacked you in Kisumu.
Yeah. Do you have to say that?
Alisalimiwa Kisumu. In the streets. I know he was beaten. but that is one of the things I loathe about our party, that I was a member.
Yes.
Of course, they were advocating for the poor people. Raila loved poor people, of course. He wanted them to do better, live better. He struggled amidst all that to ensure the quality of life improved.
Yeah, there is a statement that you usually say that I'm not saying I'm right. What there is a statement.
I'll say if I'm wrong, I don't choose to be right.
Yes. I might also overstate things.
Oh yeah. You're a brilliant man. That's why I like you, Jack. Good. So now, let's go back to President Ruto. There's the bit of reframing political history to make himself dispensable.
Yes.
I mean, he reframed it nicely. He talks himself as not being an outsider. He's him being an architect of the current dispensation, and somebody who has roots in the movement. So basically, he's an indispensable character. Then he minimizes conflict and maximizes unity. In this sense, he basically does not go the way he always talk. He goes very normal flat. Remember me telling you? Ruto was just normal flat. There was nothing to take home, to write home about his speech. It was a very flat thing. They didn't want any conflict. It was just just joking, yeah? And then leaving, which is also a very good ploy, leaving you to think, what is this guy thinking about? Especially for those people who are there, who wanted to understand, or who wanted to write home something, who wanted to respond to him the next day, okay? Then, shared purpose, of course. Ruto is a genius in terms of...
As we finish.
Yeah, he's a genius in terms of psychological pivoting. He says, whether I won or Raila won, we had almost the same plan for Kenya. My friend, that is a mega shift. Brilliant shift. And he has always tried to blur that line that between me and Raila, there is nothing different. We're the same. We're one and the same person. The ideological merging, he says, ODM is him, and ODM has not lost what? Power. He says, UDA is still a very strong party, even as ODM is equally strong. Then he says, there's no bitterness between us. Sisi ni ndugu kutoka kwa mama mmoja, ndugu yatoka nitoke.
Ndugu yatoka nitoke.
Kwanza mimi ni mtoto ya nyumba. Mimi si mtu ya nje. Okay? So, then he uses something very interesting, collective ambition to reduce opposition.
Yeah.
And in that, he talks about the projects he did with Uhuru when they were in the government. And also him talks about the SGR, which was an idea of the Grand Coalition government, if you remember, which was a product of ODM. So this SGR is not just an Uhuru thing. This SGR is actually theirs. He talks about the he talks about it very well, and I agree with him because Jimmy Wanjigi was a clandestine fellow around Raila during the idea of PPP when Kenya was just losing a lot of money. Then he talks about the 10,000 megawatts of energy. This was their plan. When Ochilo was the minister Ochilo Yako was the minister of energy. That's also their plan, by the way. It's very true. Then talks about new airport. There is Kisumu. There is the green something. They're supposed to be done at JKIA. Okay? And then he is future casting that, we are from somewhere. And we are going somewhere. So generally, if I give you the general output from what I saw, Ruto, in terms of, was this speech psychologically powerful? So first of all, it was not a political speech. So anybody who's looking for politics in it, as I said in the beginning, there's no politics in it.
Is that so?
Yes. There's zero politics. Ruto was just rebuilding all the emotional bonds, understanding that politics is about emotions, but not speaking politics, so just got the emotions straight.
For political end.
For political end, exactly, but no politics. It's you must have a bigger brain capacity to understand what I'm talking about, and I know you have it. Rewriting history to include himself, because of course he has always seen himself as an outsider when he talks about the dynasties. But now he's saying he's now part of it. So the history of Kenya cannot be written without him. He reduces hostility, positions himself as Raila's natural successor in nation building, which is a very interesting thing he did there. Then he stitches ODM and UDA into a single psychological family by wearing that orange cap and that yellow suit, which look very awkward. I don't know how that suit will look like. There's a need of change of color. It makes collaboration feels moral and patriotic rather than feeling like rivalry and dealing. Then, so basically, it's emotional intelligence, narrative control. He does identity psychology, which is very strong in. And most importantly, Ruto is lately trying to be very humorous because humor disarms. And that is a bright thing that he did. So 1 to 10, I give Ruto a very strong 6. General performance.
Is that strong?
Yeah, that's a very strong 6. Not a very weak 6, very strong 6.
Does it, in finishing, does it help him politically?
0.
I think it does.
No, it does. It doesn't. That was a burial which was well done. And now
Burying ODM.
Yeah, ODM was buried on that celebration.
Yeah, and that helps him politically.
Of course, that helps him politically because now he's able to reorganize the country. During transitions is when you can reorganize a country.
All right, thank you very much, people of the internet, for tuning in to Political Headache. Thank you for your patronage. People are really, really subscribing and loving Political Headache. If you have opinions that you want to have at Political Headache, you are always welcome. You can always take Odhiambo's seat and talk to me. You can always take my seat and Odhiambo will talk to you.
Or you can argue with us.
Yes, or you can come as the third person so that we talk about these issues. So please, on Facebook, follow us. On Facebook, follow us. On TikTok, follow us on Instagram. And we will soon be going to LinkedIn. On YouTube, please subscribe. Hit on that notification bell. We are having a town hall next week on the 28th. Please consider coming. We will be at Fungamano House at 2 p.m. You just go to politicalheadache.co.ke and you can register there. Until another episode, bye for now.